All right, hello everybody. It's Daniel Woods and welcome to another video where we dive deep, where we talk about, where we learn about telling epic adventure stories using photo and video. We talk about the gear, we talk about the technique, and we're not talking silly GoPro footage here. We're talking some legit footage. Not that GoPros aren't legit, but you get the idea. Okay, today's episode is particularly juicy, and so let's go ahead and dive right in. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Here we're all about telling epic adventure stories with photo and video and portraiture of the adventurers in those stories. We talk a lot about lighting and just how to do excellent portraiture. A couple of weeks ago, we put out a gnarly adventure story about swimming across a large channel in Lake Mead in the hot Mojave Desert nighttime. It was awesome. And tonight we're gonna take you behind the scenes. We're gonna break it down, talk about the gear we used, how we shot it, the settings, how we did the camera underwater, and I shot a large portion of this video solo, which was really cool, and I'm gonna explain how I did that so when you're solo adventuring, you can apply some of these techniques to tell your epic adventure stories as well. Before I show you the piece, I gotta give a big shout out to our sponsor for this video, FoxFury LED lighting. You guys, they make underwater, production-worthy, super powerful LED lights. Like, we can take them underwater. It's amazing, and the information for that will be in the link below. So if you haven't seen the piece, we're about to play it for you. Like I said, stick around to the end, because after that we'll dive into the production of it. All right, so let's roll it. Hey everybody, Daniel Woods, I Inspire Media. I am here at Lake Mead. Behind me, you can see the Boulder Island, and one of my favorite things to do in the summertime when it's 100+ degrees out here is come out here in the Mojave Desert and swim across this channel in the nighttime. It's an amazing experience, and we're gonna take you along for the ride. We made it. Ooh, feels so good. I have this thought all the time. Well, we live in this city, gotta be a couple million people. And it's funny to think out of 2 million people, we're the only ones out of those 2 million people that are actually taking advantage of this epic lake and this desert summer night that they could be having. Guys, this is what it's all about. This is living. Oh my gosh, look at all those guppies, look. Oh my gosh, you guys, there's like minnows. Let's see if I can catch one. Whoop. I touched your house. Woo! Awesome. This is the little contraption that I made to hold my camera. You know, GoPros are cool, but there's just a kind of a funky look to GoPro footage. But when you have the sensor on a Sony a7R II and the ability to take it underwater and to light it and to tell the adventure story of swimming at night was really cool. These clips underwater are actually filmed myself. And it attached to a pole, and the little water housing went right in here, and then these little straps sat right under here, and then these straps cinched it down. There was also a weight here. This is the water housing that we used for this shoot. It's made by Outtex. I love this housing. It fit right inside that little wood contraption, and it's got optical grade glass on the front and the back, a variety of ports, and you can use it one housing for many different cameras. I call it the camera condom, and you can see I can just push all the buttons. And here we are again with the FoxFury lights. These are the lights we use for our underwater portrait shoots. And we're going to be having a workshop coming up here in September. So if you'd like to come out and get your hands on these lights and see how they work, and work with some of our amazing models, we're going to be doing that. So here is the link to sign up for that. And again, the lighting by FoxFury. I suspended it upside down with a boogie board and a pole. So it was at depth, and that allowed me to swim through the amazing FoxFury Nomad N56s that were going perpendicular across my kayak. And I kind of built this on the fly. I came here to film the interview before sunset, and then once it got dark, I had to hightail it to Home Depot. All right, everybody, this is Ryan. He is the man. He is at Home Depot. I called him because they close at 10, and I needed this stuff right here, and we were not going to be able to film tonight if we didn't have it. The lights, they have to go to Iowa tomorrow, so I'm calling ahead. The first lady, she's like, no, we're closed, we're not going to help you. I was like, well, maybe someone else will. So then my man Ryan comes on here, runs through the store, gets me all the stuff we need, including this lumber. Anyway, this guy totally made it so we can film tonight with these lights in the water. So thanks again, Ryan. All right, guys, we'll see you later. That was really, really close. Barely made it to Home Depot. We were gonna have to call this thing off, but we, through persuasion and, whoa, bumpy. Through persuasion and a phone call, Ryan was awesome. I am starving. We're going back to the lake. We're gonna get in the water and do this thing tonight. Exhausted, so we're gonna stop and get some food along the way, but we are heading back now to Boulder City, home of Hoover Dam. All right, I'm getting weary. It's like 11 o'clock at night and we haven't even started building. But we needed fuel. Now we got it. Drift in the cart. Epic. Oh. It was late and things may or may not have gotten a little crazy on the way back to the lake. Reach out for you if that feels good to me. I better get this rigging done. Juicy bass lick right there. So here I am in the middle of the night rigging up this stuff on a kayak, but I lit the whole area and my big cinema LED lights, my Fresnels from Intellitech. In essence, I created a little workshop out here in the desert, just drilling and putting things together and kind of figuring everything out. And I was chasing the sun for my interview on the daylight, but then I was out all night long and the moon went down and the sun started coming up and I was chasing the daylight on the other side. Look at this. Is that cool? Or what, dude? But it's freaking daylight almost. Gotta get down there. And here I am exhausted at the end, and you can see my setup and how it worked. The problem is that the lights, they would keep turning. So I would swim over and then I would get them straight, go swim back, and then try to swim through. And by that time, the camera had turned. So I had to swim over, turn the camera straight, turn the lights straight, get some distance and swim back through. And after doing that about 20 times, I did get some epic shots all alone. It was a challenge and I was able to create a really cool piece. So if you ever are alone, there's a lot of things you can do. Photography is problem solving. I used the Sony Zeiss 16-35 f4 lens. This is the moon underwater, by the way. And the autofocus worked really well. Bam, you can see it just locked right on. Got it, and then here's the distance I swam between the lights. And you're gonna see as I come through, the autofocus just grabs me. I don't know if you could really do this on a GoPro with enough light. I shot at ISO 1600, didn't really go more above 2000. But here I am in the haze, and then right about, bam, grabbed focus on me. And here I am kind of down in the murk, not a lot of light, but it's gotten me right in focus. Okay, now we're going to talk about lighting, and this is probably one of the most important things. Here you can see what I call total frontal lighting, and it's not very attractive. It just looks like some guy shining a flashlight on me. And you can see I mentioned that to my buddy that was filming me on the part where I was filmed.
Would it be better to get not totally front light?
What you want is you want to have the light coming from a different direction than where the camera is. So in this case, it's behind me, and it creates this cool silhouette. And you can see here, same shot, but we did a little color correction. One of the reasons I put that bar across the kayak was to get a lot of distance. And now underwater, you can see both lights are pretty far apart, which allows me to swim through them and get light coming from the side. And that creates shadows on the muscles and gives definition to everything. And in this case, it's actually coming from behind me a little bit and then in front of the direction where I'm swimming, not in front where the camera is, and it makes everything just look so dreamy. Okay, now here's some rigging that we did when I actually took some buddies to film with me. So we put these 8-foot wide 2x4s across the back of the kayak, and then again that gave me some wide side lighting. You can see it right there on the left of the screen, lighting me as I swam. And then this was a rig that we built to have the audio. The top of that light stand is the Zoom H4n recorder, and that kept it out of the splash and it kind of picked up all the sound. And then here's how we do some of the takes. In this case, we are doing some top lighting, and I would swim, and my buddy would go below me, and then I'd swim over. Now notice that the light is still not coming from the direction of the camera. And then we slowed it down. We shot everything in 60 frames a second, and now we slowed it down to about 40%, and everything was really smooth and just looked really awesome. Being able to extend the lights out gave us all types of different ways we could swim by the kayak with those FoxFury lights pointing down. Okay, this part is what we call pre-production, and I actually brainstormed and wrote down the shots that I wanted to create, and then I also did some Google image searching to see some different things that could be done. Here's a really cool video I found that our footage ended up looking just like this, not necessarily because I found this, but it just kind of validated what I thought we could create. Isn't that cool? Much easier in a swimming pool and not filming yourself. This is obviously Phelps. And notice the really cool directional lighting they have on him. Never is the light coming from straight in front. So if you're an adventurer that's driven to tell the stories of your adventures with photo and video, you are gonna love our channel. We'll be posting videos probably 2 times a week. We do the most epic shoots, from cars burning to underwater to running through epic canyons. And then we break it down and explain everything that we're doing after, so you can learn about photography and about creating epic videos. I also teach workshops in epic locations. We have amazing models, And we have an underwater workshop coming up. So if you would love to try out these FoxFury lights, we're gonna have them with us, and you'll get the chance to work with those lights and some of our awesome models. You can go to iinspiremedia.com/workshops to sign up, and we sure hope to see you there. So please subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the notification button also, so that you'll receive updates as soon as we make new content available. This is Daniel Woods signing off, and we will see you in the next video. You know, it's very romantic out here. Have a nice day! And subscribe to my YouTube channel too.